This was a regular, just an interesting, energetic guy at the beginning, a free kind of a man. And he he discovered radio, and then he discovered television, and then he became accepted by people, and he became their folk hero. And then he started to manipulate them and tell them how to think, and they would do what he said do. And then he began to realize how much power he really had. And he started to influence the politicians, and he was about to launch this real loser into political office. When, when the country discovered him by means of Patricia Neal, who played a role called Marcia, she left the audio switch open
at the end of the show.
At the end of a show, at the end of a program, and the people actually heard what he said, and he called them sheep, and he called them that they would do exactly what he said do, and how dumb and stupid they were. Then they turned him off, but he took that.
Well, hey everybody, it's Jim of Animated Educated, and here is the real life Jesse Duquette, who is a political cartoonist of sorts. You might have seen his work on Instagram. And thanks for coming to Animated Educated. And,
yeah, of course.
So you're in Chicago, and I was just curious, when you were a kid, what kind of kid were you? Were you the artist kid, or did you discover it later? Or
yeah, I was always the artist kid. I was always drawing. It's kind of what I got, known for, I guess, in school. Other kids would do sports. They were really good at that, or they were the class clown, and I was a kid that drew. That's sort of how I ingratiated myself with my fellow students.
Have you always drawn cartoons, or have you done other artwork?
Probably always cartoons, not political, but just kind of random stuff. It was always just random, caricatures.
When did the political cartoons come in, start going? Is it just because of Trump, or was it later, earlier than that?
I did some political drawings here and there over the years, but it really started in earnest and regularly with the Trump administration. I did an art project during the first Trump administration, and it started on the first day of that administration. And so it was sort of a challenge to myself to see if I could draw every day. And that turned into now 8.5 years of doing it. Again, politically engaged through drawing a little bit, certainly more so, much more so with the Trump years. I mean, there's certainly a lot more fodder. I mean, it's more inherently cartoonish. So, it's been easy, I guess, in a way to do it. It's an easy world to draw within, for better or for worse.
I'd imagine you just got so much material from every single day,
Yeah, certainly.
And,
I mean, well, that was the whole point of it. The first time with the first administration was I could tell it was going to be a lot of stuff thrown at us. And I knew that so much of it would be forgotten, or just because there would be so much. So my endeavor was to try to document as much as I could so that at least I wouldn't forget all the stuff. But it's definitely not something I could be, because I don't approach it the same way now with this administration. Because first of all, I don't think it would be possible. There's too much for a person to document all of it. I mean, there's like multiple stuff every day, just tons and tons of stuff that happens that it isn't realistic to document the entirety, especially if you have like a full-time job. There's just no way that it could be done. So now it's a little less comprehensive in terms of covering it, but it's more about whatever, I guess, the worst thing that happens, or at least the thing that is kind of presents the easiest thing to draw in my mind, I suppose.
do the images just come to you, or you just go, I know how to spin this?
When I first started doing this stuff, it was strictly documentarian style. Like I mean, the first couple months of the drawings were very, like, no editorializing really. Even the drawings of people were it was kind of an effort to hone my portraiture skills or character, because I was not something I was comfortable with And so I was really just trying to draw these people. It was really about, okay, here's this thing that happened today. Here's a drawing about it, without doing anything other than letting the sort of news item live as it was. And the editorializing came pretty quickly, but for a while it was just kind of letting it stay as it was. And so now, I'm not really interested in the documentarian style, because there's people who are a lot more proficient at doing it than I am, and people who do journalists and stuff. So it's not really my lane.
I did like the one with the lady with the red hat, which is based on an old photograph of, I guess it's the woman from
Oh, yeah, yeah. It
like
was a depression. It was
Depression. Yeah.
yeah. I forget. I'm not. I have like the world's worst memory, which is another reason why I did the whole project in the first place. So I knew I would never remember anything, as evidenced by this right now. But yeah, that was, again, it was just like appropriating a very common iconic image and bastardizing it for my own purpose.
And you've got a couple books that you've compiled some of your cartoons with. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The first administration, I was able to put out two books. So the first one encompassed the first 2 years, and the second book encompassed the second half of the presidency.
Wish you more luck on the future, and hopefully we'll survive the next couple years together. And again, if anybody wants to see you, you have a website? I'll put the information below.
Mhm.
And anything you want to, other links to your work or something, you can send them to me.
Sure.
So, okay.
Great.
All
All
right,
right.
great. Well, thanks for coming on Animated Educated, and yeah, good luck with the rest of the term.
Yeah, you as well.
So,
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Jesse Duquette and seeing all his artwork. If you enjoyed this interview in any way, you can press that button right there to subscribe,
Yeah.
or you can take a look at other videos that I have below. And here's a couple of videos you might be interested in, and we'll see you next time on Animated Educated.